Welcome, everybody, to Hobbs Basketball. You're watching JV, and this is Hobbs JV versus Los Lunas Tigers, also the JV. Right now, it is in the fourth quarter, 43-23 with a comfortable lead. Hobbs does have. And we're going to show you some of those moments as they happen live. I'm Ron Gunner, EB back in the studio, helping us out, making sure this thing goes through on the air, whether it be on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube on the Hobbs Sports Channel, or on the Facebook page of Cool 95.7. You can see it here. You can also listen to us on the radio a little bit later on as we get the broadcast started for the varsity game. Should be about, well, who knows? It's 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go. It's 6:30 right now, so it could start at 7 o'clock, but you never know. And that means pregame would be at 6:45 roughly. Either way, we got you set and covered, as Hobbs is going to take on Los Lunas. And another must-win for Hobbs. They have 9 more games to go. In fact, they've got 5 at home and 4 away. And if they want to have a winning record at home, they need to win the next 4 games, or at least 4 out of the 5. Hobbs coming in with 6-11 and a 1-win streak going on. They're 2-4 at home. They need a couple more wins to get above 500, as you can imagine. And as the action continues down below, Tigers are coming in with a 9-6 record. They are 4-1 away, so they are no slouches as far as it comes to the road games. They have an average of 53.8 points a game. That means they don't score much. They don't have to. They only allow 42.9 a game. And this is Travis Julian's 9th season where he has a record of 171 and 71 losses. So, of course, we're going to see the best out of his team as well. And tomorrow's going to be Cleveland, and that'll be a tough game. Be coming back to you more with action for the JV here in just a moment, right here on Cool 95.7 Facebook page. All right, thanks for watching. For those who are joining us, this is the JV game. Right now it's 47-30 with that little 2-point bucket going on with 3:13 remaining. Hobbs is leading Los Lunas. Later on we'll be facing Los Lunas, the Tigers. 9-6, I believe, is their record, as that'll be around 7 o'clock, just about 15 to 20 minutes after this game, depending on how much time they give for the warm-up. Usually they give about 20 minutes, maybe 15, depending, and that's what they did Tuesday night anyway. Once again, Cumberland lead, 14 points is what Hobbs has over Los Lunas. This is the JV game. Coming up shortly, we'll have, of course, on all our no-mark broadcasting stations, whether it be on Cool 95.7's Facebook page. We also have it on HobbsAmerica.com, and I missed one. No, YouTube, that's right, Hobbs Sports Channel. Ron Gunter here, giving you some extra credit coverage, as it's called. Of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors really quickly while we can. Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, Inamar Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much for sponsoring. Back in just a moment to let you know what's going on right here on your Cool 95.7 Facebook page, as well as on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. All right, thanks for joining us on Cool 95.7 Facebook page, along with HobbsAmerica.com. This was the end of the game for the Eagles JV as they triumphed over Los Lunas Tigers by 20, 55-35. We're hoping for the same result or similar results in the varsity game here in just moments. We're going to find out exactly how much time is going to be put up on the board here pretty soon. I am Ron Gunter. Ty Friend will be joining us in a moment. Evie Stuber is back at the station, making sure all this goes out for everybody to enjoy, whether it be on the internet and or on the radio. Calls are coming up pretty soon. We'll be on the radio on Cool 95.7. Be just a moment or two before they put the time on the clock. They usually give 15 to 20 minutes Never guess so exactly when it's how much time they're going to put on there. Last time it was 20 minutes and they were running about 30 minutes late, so sometimes you never can tell. But we will keep you updated. As soon as I know, you will know as well. As we get everything lined up and ready to go. Should be another exciting game for Hobbs. I think they're getting stronger and stronger each time they come out. The only problem is they've got some strong opponents they have to face against or play against. And, of course, they are never willing to just lay down, even for the legendary Ralph Tasker at the legendary Ralph Tasker Arena. And we have coming up to a 20 minutes. Has started, not yet, but anyway, we'll come back in just a moment and tell you exactly what's going on right here on Cool 95.7 Facebook page, YouTube, and, of course, HobbsAmerica.com. Hobbs hasn't been this low in the rankings, and this bad in the standings since at least 2010, 2011, when the team went 12-17. They did manage to split two. They did, of course, they only had Clovis and Carlsbad to contend with for district. They beat Carlsbad both times, while they lost to Clovis both times. So that made them 2-2. They ended up going into the district tournament with a 2-2 record. They did beat Carlsbad, so they were 3-0 on them. But of course, they ended up having to go to Clovis and play them in the tournament and lost. And they did manage to get into the playoffs just barely, but got knocked out in the first round. We're hoping this will be a much better season for Hobbs. They still have plenty of time. Like I said, 9 games remaining. They need to win 8 to get a positive record. But Los Lunas, they are not going to make it easy. Travis Julian has been around for 9 seasons. His record right now currently is 171-71. Of course, like I said, the team's record is 9-6. And they've been holding their opponents to 42.9 points a game. So that means that Hobbs needs to come out strong against that and be able to get, of course, points. If you get more than 60, you have a better chance of winning. If you have 80, or as Coach Reeves said once, well, if we can just average 20 points per quarter, then I think we should be able to win each and every game easily. But you know what? Sometimes that is easier said than done. And you know, one of the guys that can do that is Abraham Pena. He has been shooting real well. In fact, he's actually got one of the best free throw percentages, because he's been on the line most. He's made 59 of 85 points or shots attempted at the free throw line. Never can say free throw. And he's got 69% from there. All right, you know what? We're going to go ahead and take it to the professional, because we got 5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining before this game is about to tip off. And here we are now with Ty Friend.
What's going on, Ron? Boy, this big game for the Hobbs Eagles tonight. Of course, coming out of that win against Las Cruces. And now Los Lunas, who's been in the top 10 for much of this early part of the season, and have that real tough kid, Jalen Holland, they're going to be waiting for. He's definitely a Division I prospect, plays the game really well. Last year, he's just a sophomore and made the 5A All-State team as a sophomore, averaging 21 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. So that kind of tells you where Eagles have to be really signaling it on him, make sure he doesn't do too much damage offensively.
Yeah, and you know, Los Lunas has had some up and downs in their schedule, but they've also had some really strong opponents like Cleveland, Alamogordo. They did lose to them by 3, lost to Cleveland by 6. And that was early in the season. Came back strong against Carlsbad twice and beat them, or at least once anyway. And against Gallup, they went ahead and doubled them up, doubled them up, 75-30. That was early in the season as well. But yeah, most of their games have been either really close or blowouts, and I have a feeling that they're going to try to lean on their defense, as I mentioned earlier, and try to get this win simply through strength. And Hobbs needs to come out here and just do the same thing, be able to go back, be motivated. You have to leave it on the court, so go ahead and play. Put your body into it, and don't be afraid to take those fouls, because sometimes that's all it takes is to go up to the free throw line, get those extra points, and be able to win a game.
And taking care of the basketball is key number 1 in this contest. 31 turnovers ain't going to cut it. You get a win like Hobbs did by 11 over Las Cruces, but 31 turnovers against most teams that are, going to compete against you are going to probably get a W against you. So that's something they need to clean up. Free throws are pretty decent against Las Cruces, 6 for 8 for 75%. They get some people on the boards as well. Good job by Jairus Turbiates. He's been averaging 7 rebounds a game, and he continues to be consistent with that. He had about 3 games in a row where he's got double-digit scoring, too, going through the APS Metro tournament, which is no easy competition there. So if he can be consistent, hopefully get back in the double digits tonight. Only had 8 against Las Cruces, but I expect some good things from him. Kind of a quiet game for Pena, though. Only 8 points, had 6 rebounds, though, which is very good helping the Eagles' boards, but kind of a quiet night for him in terms of point production. I think it kind of went back to the tournament where he fouled out of that last game against Hope Christian, and I think that kind of got him a little bit sour taste in his mouth, but I think he's going to be back in shape with the game here tonight. Now, we talked about Jalen Holland. Holland is definitely a guy that you're going to have to D up. The problem with him is he does a lot of things good. He's a spot-up shooter. He can dunk the basketball. He's a real good penetrator in the lane. So that's going to be a lot of different options that this team's going to be looking for. They played Volcano Vista about a week or 2 ago. Of course, Volcano Vista has one of the top kids in the state, Kenny Agueno. He did manage 27 against Los Lunas, but at the same time, Jalen Holland with 15 points in that game. But they were down quickly. Volcano Vista with some tough pressure defense. Went up 23-8 in the first quarter and hit 9 trays against Los Lunas. So if Hobbs can get their outside shooting going, Pena, Vega, and some of those guys that really can stroke it. We even saw some good stuff coming from the three-point line off the bench, 2 for the Eagles. Jordan Caceres hitting 3 trays against Las Cruces. If those guys can drill those, that could hurt them, just like we saw with Volcano Vista lighting up Los Lunas in that game. So they ended up winning by a double-digit victory on that one. We should mention that Jalen Holland kid already has a ton of Division I offers. He's just a junior, by the way. He's got one more year for Los Lunas. Southern Utah, Arizona State, Oklahoma, both big schools here in New Mexico State and UNM, Cincinnati, Missouri. He's also got offers from Washington State and a couple other ones on top of that. So lots of people looking at him, but he's got a lot on the line here against the Hobbs Eagles, and the 6th man here at Task Arena going to fire up the black and gold.
And you know he's not going to be a slouch on this court, because this is legendary Ralph Tasker Arena, and he's definitely want to shine on here. I just want to let everybody know that's listening that if you want to attend the game, it's still possible. All you have to do is just buy tickets beforehand. They're having a little trouble on the internet side over here, so it's once you get here, try to get the tickets. It's a little harder to do unless you have it on your phone. So remember that. If you want to get tickets, make sure you get them either before you get here or get them on your phone.
So we're getting close to the starting lineup time here at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles and the Los Lunas Tigers. Los Lunas at 9-6, and your Hobbs Eagles picking up their 6th win just the other night, and now 6-11 on the season. We're going to take a quick 60-second break and get the starting lineups going here at Tasker and the national anthem. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles getting ready to take on Los Lunas. One more game for the Eagles tomorrow as well against Cleveland. The national anthem getting ready. We'll take a quick 60-second break with more Hobbs Eagle action coming up. Hobbs Eagle fight song going on here at Task Arena as the Eagles get ready to take on Los Lunas. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuver with you tonight. The starters for Los Lunas, Isaiah Juarez, Rex Kinsey, Jalen Holland, their top scorer, Josiah Griego, and Isaiah Aragon. They are 9-6 on the season. Your Hobbs Eagles come in at 6-11. Braylon Vega, Abraham Pena, Jairus Turbiatis, Malachi David, and Parker Henderson, the starters in this one. Of course, Pena, the leading scorer at the season, 16.8 a ball game. Behind him, Braylon Vega at 10.2. Those are your two in double digits. Third in scoring is Turbiatis. Turbiatis leads in rebounds at 7 a game, and also second in steals as a big man at 1.3, so he's helping out in a couple different categories there. So definitely going to be a part of the action here in this one, trying to deal with that big Holland kid for Los Lunas. And we've started to see, Malachi David also stepping up that low post. They had a really good game against the final game of the APS Metro tournament against Hope Christian. Kind of not as dominant in this last game against the Las Cruces squad, but still getting posted up and doing a good job out there. He's averaging 4.3 points a game, and now in the rebounds at 2.5 a contest. So definitely like to see that low post working well for the Hobbs Eagles in terms of getting a starting nod tonight. Parker Henderson kind of moving along as best he can. He's averaging 4.5 points a game. Of course, he's not as many games as the rest of the team has when he's dealing with the injury. Currently, he is second on the team in rebounds at 5.3 a game. And of course, you expect a big kid to get the rebounds. They know that they only put a lot of undue pressure on big kids, any team that has them. Every time the ball goes up, you're expected to come down with the ball. But Parker's starting to get the touch, trying to feel through a little bit underneath. Would like to put down stuff a little bit quicker. Like to see him go up and take some dunks off a quick hop in the lane and really throw it down hard. But he's still kind of growing into himself, and he does have one more year with the Eagles next year as well.
Yeah, you got to realize sometimes that, you got to get into it, and sometimes it takes a little longer to work on it. But once you do, once your muscle memory gets involved, then you don't have to work as hard, and it just seems to come a little easier. In fact, second nature, some would say.
In terms of their opponent, Los Lunas, we mentioned that they lost to Volcano Vista just about a week and a half ago to the number one team in the state. But during the Hoopla tournament in Las Cruces over the Christmas break, they had a major trouncing win over the Harmony School out of El Paso, a private school. They beat them, if you get this one, 73-1.
Wow.
It was a last-second sub team. They lost a team in the tournament bracket, so they went and moved this team into the slot there. I'm sure they wish they would have gone home to El Paso before that game. Now, eventually, Los Lunas did get to the championship of the Hoopla tournament, lost to Oregon Mountain by 3 points. Close ball game in that one, 48-45, and Oregon Mountain kind of the home team there in Las Cruces for that game. But, in fact, Los Lunas coming from way behind. They were down 12-0 early. Did get a lead in the ball game, but Oregon Mountain hit a last-second three-point shot to get the victory in that game, but a close one there for the Hoopla championship. So they have been tournament tested. They played some top teams around the state of New Mexico. A lot of the teams in the Max Preps poll, definitely somebody they've been hooking up with throughout the season, and they're tested just like the Hobbs Eagles are. Of course, Hobbs, one of the best strength of schedules in the state. A lot of teams are way below them in that, but still, both these teams can't say they haven't been ready for their next opponent.
Yeah, exactly. And Hobbs has been tested, tried, and true. Unfortunately, it has not always worked out the way they wanted to with some extra victories. But you know what? Sometimes the road less traveled is the one you really want to take, because then you have the most experience and you come in when the really victories count the most. And definitely for a district, that's when they want to count the most, especially against teams like Clovis is really tough this year. Carlsbad's going to be always tough. And Roswell looks like they're sneaky as well. So all three teams could be suspect to be able to beat Hobbs at any given moment.
Now, the most impressive wins for Los Lunas, they beat number 5th ranked Atrisco Heritage, still ranked 5th, 84-81. That was back in December. They also knocked off Mayfield, not really a good ranking Mayfield team, but they beat them by 15. Hobbs lost to Mayfield by 5 in Las Cruces. For Farmington, they picked them off 49-31 by 18 points. Farmington ranked 8th in the state. Hobbs lost to Farmington at this Hobbs Holiday Tournament recently by 6. So definitely those two games, Mayfield and Farmington, going in the direction of Los Lunas with the victories there. And again, we mentioned they also lost a very close game to Volcano Vista by 5 points, 62-47, which was 5 better than the Eagles lost by 20. But they played Oregon Mountain twice, losing by 6 and by 13, and a couple of contests against Oregon Mountain, who's currently ranked 5th in the state. Hobbs out on the court first, wearing their white home uniforms, black numbers, and gold trim. And I just noticed Vega was pointing to his teammates and then also pointed to his head to be playing smart basketball here from the start as they wait for their opponents still in the huddle on the baseline.
Yeah, because it all matters what happens in the first quarter. You get in a hole, and it is hard to get back out of it, especially with the teams as tough as defensively as Los Lunas is.
Los Lunas 7-6 against 5A opponents so far, so just one over 500. They beat one 4A team in Gallup earlier. That was a 75-30, a big win there. And then they beat the one Texas team 1-0. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles with tons of Texas opponents this year. Friendship, Caprock, Canyon, Brownfield, and Trinity Christian. 5 Lone Star State opponents on their schedule, and a bunch of those in that Gene Messer tournament to get the season rolling. Here we go, ready for the jump is Los Lunas. Holland will jump in blue and orange. And we got a bad throw on the first one here. It got bobbled up in the air by the officials, so they're going to have to re-jump it. Parker Henderson tried to get a tap, has to do it twice into the backcourt to Malachi David. Eagles with the first possession, hand off to Pena. In the front court, top of the circle. Give over to David on the left wing. Back to Pena at the timeline right. Unloads to Vega. NBA 3, a high rainbow jumper right through the net. Way to get the game started. The big-time shooter for the Eagles, the top three-point shooter on the team as well. And, of course, he's still got 2 more seasons as an Eagle. Coming across the timeline in the front court for Los Lunas, Isaiah Aragon. Gives it off to the time stripe to Rex Kinsey. Crossover move to his left hand. Good D by Pena. Unloads to the left wing to Isaiah Aragon. Wrap around up top to Holland. Jab step, drives the left baseline, or make it the left of the lane. Fadeaway jumper from the left block off the back of the rim, no good. And Turbiantes rips it down and cradles it underneath the hoop. His outlet to Payne is thrown behind, and Payne has to run back to it towards the timeline. Now bring it across in the front court. Hobbs up 3-0. Back to Vega on the right side. He wants another NBA rainbow jumper. This one off the right back rim, and pulled down by Los Lunas by Josiah Griego. His first rebound. Unloads to Holland now in the front court. His dad is the athletic director there at Los Lunas, by the way, and also a referee. Stop and go dribble, crossover move. Shot from the free throw line is a swish. We talked about that Papa shot that he likes to do, and just shows it right there with the swisher. 3-2, Hobbs still by 1. Payne going to break a slow dribble now through the time stripe. He's guarded by Rex Kinsey. To the scores table far left. Down the middle near the Hobbs Eagle logo on the under wing of the bird in the middle of the court. Crossover move. Through his legs, left side of the circle to the free throw line, puts his head down, spins, gives up top to David. NBA 3 going off the front rim, no good, and Henderson over the back, slams down on the top of Holland and his butt right in the gut of Henderson that time as Holland was facing the basket. No way should Henderson try to rebound that one. Big block out there for Holland.
When you're looking at the basket, you don't see what's down below. He got boxed out of that, and unfortunately he got the call on it.
First personal, first team foul on the Eagles. Him out of the backcourt for Kinsey. No look pass across the timeline to Holland. Right wing. He wants to fire a 3 for rainbow jumper land. Misses out the front of the rim. No good. David pulls it down in the left wing. His first rebound. Outlet ahead to Pena on the right front court. Back deep to Vega. Vega with the jab step returns to Pena. Pivots towards Holland. Finds Turbiantes right corner. Posting up Henderson right block. Backs into his defender. Throws up a double hand shot off the glass. No good. Tried to get his own rebound. Lost it off his fingertips, but last touched. Looks like by Henderson. It will be Los Lunas basketball. And again, still trying to get that follow through. When he didn't have it on that was a flat shot.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his touch. He's still working on it, though, and hopefully he'll get it really, really soon.
Couple of passes beat the Hobbs Eagle trap. Kinsey in the front court. Fadeaway jumper from 18 left side and puts it through. Actually, that was Isaiah Juarez. That's his first bucket. 4-3. First lead of the game for Los Lunas. Up by 1. Hobbs is up early, 3-0 after the three-point shot for Vega. Pena takes a screen, comes around the left circle, double team against him, pivots, ball gets knocked out of his hands, he's diving on the floor for it, picks it up, finds Turbiantes in the left corner. He lost the ball for a second at the free throw line off the dribble, gives back to David, fakes a 3 top of the circle, dribbles behind his back. Kicks it back deep to Pena, backing up towards the scores table on the far left sideline. Eagles kind of out of sync offensively. Gets a screen from Henderson, doesn't use it. Finds Turbiantes in the right corner. Spins on the baseline right. Now to the left. Fadeaway jumper with one hand off the front of the rim. Henderson tracking it down in the left corner for his rebound first of the game. Outlet to Pena, left wing. Throws up a 3 on the fadeaway. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound in transition by Holland. Comes down the right side of the lane at the other end. Double clutch with one hand. Shot puts it off the back of the iron. Loose on the floor. Picked up by David. His second rebound. Outlet to Pena on the far left sideline, now in the front court near the scores table. Up top to Vega, fakes a 3. Gets it over to Turbiantes on the right wing. Back deep to Vega at the timeline. And then to Pena on the far left side. Pena will stay in front of the scores table, crosses it through his legs. Spins, Jumps back, kicks it up top to David. David faces basket. He spins, throws up a three on the way. Off the front of the rim, no good. Turbiatis tips it to himself in the left block. Turns and goes double clutch to the rack. Knocked to the floor, no call. Rebound, Henderson back up on the right side and glances it off the glass for two. His second rebound and first points of the game. 5-4, Eagles by one. The half-court inbound with the jump stop for Isaiah Aragon. He'll bring it across the timeline. Gives it off far side to Kinsey, right of the court. In front of the scores table. Cross court left to Juarez. To the left wing to Hollins. Facing up against Turbiatis. NBA three on the way. Off the back of the rim hard. Big leap there for Henderson underneath the hoop to pull it down for his already third rebound. Remember, he is second on the team in boards at 5.3 a game. Up court to Pena. Right wing. Bounce pass to Turbiatis off his chest. Able to pull it down. Track it in the right corner. Takes a few dribbles up the sideline towards half court. Gives it back to Pena. Over to Vega on the left wing. Well outside. Wasn't going to shoot that NBA three. Cross court right to Pena. Down low to Henderson. Turn around hook shot. Hits the bottom of the rim. No good. Rebound in the paint by Kinsey is first. Now dribbles into the front court. Stop and go behind his back. Unloads down to the right corner. Three on the way for Juarez out the back of the rim high. And pulled down in the left block by Griego. Kicks it down left corner to Kinsey. Guarded by Turbiatis. Crossover move. Spins at the left block. In the paint. Kick out right. Wide open. Juarez for three out the back of the rim. Pulled down at the free throw line by Pena for the Eagles. That's his first rebound. He'll dribble up in the front court and slowing it up with 3 minutes left in the first. Hobbs by one. Spots up an NBA three. Defender waited way too long. Backing up was Kinsey and pays the price as Pena drills the second trade of the game for the Eagles. 8-4. Their biggest lead is 4. Long pass down to the other end. Three on the way from left corner for Aragon. No good. Henderson underneath the hoop for his fourth rebound and outlets for the Eagles up court far side left to Pena. Crossover move. Posting up, Turbiatis throws it way too low and ripped away by Kinsey for the Eagles' first turnover. Pass down the lane is ripped away for Vega. Hobbs gets a steal, and that's Los Lunas' first turnover. So getting kind of sloppy here towards the end of the first. Payne will get the ball, and he'll take his time. No defenders until the half court. Matchup for Los Lunas. Cross court right to Vega. Vega's just going to hold it on his toes right now near the timeline. Finds Turbiatis top of the circle with 2:10. Back to Vega right, down low to Malachi David on the right block. Backs in his defender. Up top to Henderson, double steps, throws up a three-point shot at the back of the rim. David in the middle of the paint, spins left, right with a hook shot, counted, and the foul. David with his third rebound, first bucket of the ball game. Eagles already have 4 scores in the books and a chance for a three-point play. Foul called on Jalen Holland, his first Tiger team foul.
Yeah, Hobbs averaging 58 points a game right now, not quite there yet, but still doing a whole lot better than what we expected against Los Lunas, who only has 4 points, Eagles with 10, and they can add on to that with their 2 free throws.
So David will step, actually they kept the basket.
Yeah, right.
So Malachi David, just a freshman of course. He's shooting 56% right now, 9 of 16 from the charity stripe. Free throws up and good. So David with 3 points. Hobbs by 7, their biggest lead of the game. Inbound to the left corner to Jalen Holland, fires it across the timeline to Juarez, left corner with the dribble. Returns left side again to Aragon. Lost the ball in the lane now, picked up by Malachi David. Los Lunas back-to-back turnovers. In the front court, a pass to Pena, fires away an NBA three left side, bounces off the front of the rim, loose on the baseline, and a jump stop rebound for Isaiah Aragon. Unloads to the far right sideline to Kinsey, tries to drill up towards the scores table, and has Pena and Turbiatis with a double block there. To get the foul on one of those two, it looks like they'll charge that to Pena, his second team foul.
And Hobbs being aggressive on defense, that's exactly what they needed to be if they wanted to win this game, and so far they're doing a great job in the first quarter.
Man-to-man pressure defense, the inbound back deep though, Rex Kinsey, as Pena will pick him up at the timeline. 1:35 left first quarter, 11-4, spin move. Coming across the timeline kind of sloppily, Kinsey. One-hand pass over the right wing to the sub that just checked in, Fernando Rico. He had 9 points against Volcano Vista, just the second leading scorer on the team in that one. To Holland on the left elbow, pivots right, left, leads and shoots from the block, misses underneath the hoop, no good. And a big battle underneath the hoop as Javen Hernandez going toe-to-toe with the Los Lunas Tiger underneath the net that time. It looks like the Tiger touches it last. That was James Kilcullen, Hobbs basketball. Lead by 7, their biggest lead of the first quarter, 1:18 left, 11-4. Now we got a whistle at the other baseline. Eagles inbounded in the backcourt, no defenders on him. And the official at the other baseline in front of the Los Lunas bench whistles, then runs down to the other end to talk to the official near the Hobbs Eagle bench. I'm not sure if they had enough subs on the court or what the situation was. They have a guy at the scores table waiting to get in. Maybe a warning out there, or maybe a tech.
Well, we'll find out in a moment. There was a Los Lunas Tiger running up to the scoreboard Now he's running back. So
the table,
score table, yeah.
3 officials meeting now on what the call was, and both teams leaving the court, at least actually Los Lunas leaving the court. Their coaches on the sideline over by the scores table on that side of the court, having his team come over there. And again, there's always been a debate about what the coaches' box is at the Tasker Arena, because we don't do, of course, the benches on the sideline, so it's always tough. Some gyms let people come around the edge there and talk to the team on the sideline, which is what's going on right now with Los Lunas and Coach Julian. Looks like there has been a tech applied to the Eagles. I'm not sure what that is for, but they're going to put Holland on the line to shoot the 2 tech throws here. They will get the ball back, too, to add insult to injury. High shot and a swish for Holland. He's got 3 points, leading the Tigers. Only 2 scores so far, 3 for Holland and 2 for Juarez. Eagles have 3 apiece for Vega, Pena, and David, and 2 for Henderson.
Well, whatever happened, it was partly off in the back or in the far court for Hobbs, in the back court for us. But either way, yeah, it did not see what happened, so you're right. We don't know what happened yet.
I don't see any fouls, individual fouls for the Eagles up on the board right now, so nobody on the court has a tech called on him, I guess, unless they took him out real quick there. Hobbs with 3 team fouls, though, because of that tech. Coming across the timeline after the tech throws, Kinsey on the right wing. He threw off his defender, then throws up an air ball on the 3 shot. They're going to call the foul after the shot, or actually when the blockout was coming, as Kinsey got knocked to the floor. I think Vega fell into him, so they called the foul on the 3 on the right side. Vega's first, 14 fouls, so all of a sudden the Eagles almost getting Los Lunas in the bonus, double bonus. That was a shooting foul. That was going to be a 3-shot situation for Rex Kinsey.
Yeah, exactly, and not a good deal unless, of course, Rex does not make any of these shots. It's going to be, well, I guess first shot is no good, so that does help the cause, but still he has 2 more shots that can make it a 3-point game if he makes these last 2.
Yeah, he shot that real flat from the chest that time. Didn't even get any arch on the throw at all that time, and he'll get 2 more here. Was a 3-point shot he started off with on the foul. Second shot's rolling around like the swish bowl there and goes through. As a team, Los Lunas now 3 of 4 from the line for 75%. Couple of subs coming in for the Tigers. On the court, Alex Lopez first action, back a starter to Josiah Griego. Eagles have brought in Jordan Caceres, who hit those 3 trays against Las Cruces earlier this week. And also Clay on the court. Third shot is no good. And a pull down by Turbiatis on the left block. He's got his 3rd rebound. 11-7, Eagles by 4. In the front court, Clay double team against him on the near side. Throws it up the sideline to David in the right wing. They're going to call a force-out foul there as Clay got banged into after he unloaded the pass. Got the foul call on Alex Lopez. That's the same name as the assistant principal. Used to be the head Hobbs High soccer coach, Alex Lopez. This is a player, though, for Los Lunas. Second against the Tigers. Inbound to Clay. Josiah Clay on the right wing. Up top to Caceres. Dumps it in the paint to Turbiatis, middle, spins left, turns and fires, double clutch, barely misses the rim on the left side, but they call the foul going up. So Turbiatis posting up big that time and a chance for 2 free throws. Would have loved to see that one go through the hole, but got kind of pulled on the arm from behind. That's James Kilcullen's first personal, 3rd team foul. And now we got Turbiatis shooting free throws here. David's the only one to be on the line so far. He is 1 of 1, and Turbiatis on the season, 62%, 17 of 27. Unfortunately now 17 of 28 as he misses his first one off the rim.
Yeah, and that's exactly not how you wanted to start the free throws for Turbiatis, but still, he usually misses the first one on 1 attempt, and the second time he adjusts, makes the second one, and then goes on from there and then is able to get any more of those free throws made.
Braddock Beatty checking in for Malachi David. Second shot is up and good. 1 for 2 is Turbiatis. Eagles by 5, 12-7. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Inbound to the near side to Aragon. Throws it across down to the left wing to Isaiah Juarez. Down low to Holland. Leans and shoots backwards that time and gets the ball to roll over the front of the rim. He threw his back towards the bucket and just threw it up over the top of his head. Definitely has a shot, knows where to put him through. 6 for him now, 12-9. He's the leading scorer. In the front court, Caceres gets a pass from Beatty up top over to Clay on the right wing. He's guarded by Juarez, returns to Caceres, top of the circle, over to Beatty left side with 15. Dumps it to Turbiatis left corner with the big pivot. Temple dribbles, pivoting left, kick it over to Caceres on the right wing. It's a save. It was a hard pass. Saves it to the timeline, picked up by Beatty with 5. Hand off to Clay with 3, 2, 1. Spin move. He's going to throw up a 3 at the buzzer, top of the circle, but it misses everything. Actually, the net was all tangled up too, kind of caught in itself. But I guess that wouldn't have affected the shot if it would have been over the front or the top of the rim that time. But no good. Air ball in the last shot. But your Hobbs Eagles leading Los Lunas, one of the top teams in the state, 12-9 here at the end of 1. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome to second quarter action here at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles, second game of their 3-game homestand. Hey, we'll play Cleveland tomorrow here at 2 or 3:30 here at Tasker Arena. Hobbs up by 3 to start the second quarter against Los Lunas. Tiger basketball. Pastor Kinsey in the left wing. Back deep up top to Juarez. Swing it to the right side. Perimeter passing game to Aragon. Eagles had a bunch of guys with 3 points in the first quarter. Vega, Pena, and David. In the lane to Holland. Fadeaway jumper, middle of the paint. Off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Malachi David. He's got 4 rebounds now. Top scorer for the Tigers, Holland 6 and Juarez 2. Coming across the timeline is Pena. Eagles 12-9 with 7:24 remaining second quarter. Gives it to Vega. NBA 3 on the way. How he started the game and swishes it through again. 6 points for Vega, all on trays. That's the third three-point shot converted by Hobbs here at Tasker Arena. 15-9. Eagles by 6. At the other end, a 3 from the left side. Isaiah Aragon in and out. Henderson pulls it down on the right block. That's his 5th rebound. He gets hit in the head by a Tiger, and he kind of threw his teeth at him after that happened. Wasn't too happy that kid slamming into him. That was a foul on Isaiah Aragon, his first. Tigers had 3 fouls in the first quarter. Now they're first here in the second, and Eagles had 4 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah, to get on a ladder to get up on top of him to be able to hit Henderson in the head.
Yeah, of course, Henderson's 6'11". Painting out the stop-and-go dribble as he comes across the timeline against Fernando Rico. Rico had 9 points against Volcano Vista. Stop and go to the right corner now. Gets a new defender, now double teams, jumps in the air, gets it inside to Henderson. Kick out left to Turbiantes, a fadeaway 3 on the left wing, no good. Chased down in the right corner by Juarez, his first rebound. Outlet to the timeline, Holland comes down the left side of the lane. Little windmill action and lays it off the left glass for 2. Holland went to the rack hard that time. You can't give him that first step. He's got 8 points, and it looks like Holland might have hit his head on the ground there. Maybe got kicked in the head as he went down, but he's got the back of his head, 2 hands on top of that, trying to walk it off, and looks like his coach is going to try to get a sub in here, Coach Julian. Or no, I think Holland waved him off. So, nope, that sub is not going to come in. He started running towards the scores table, then headed back to the baseline. Holland says, I want to stay in here. Holland is a very impressive player. He averaged 32 points at a tournament in Phoenix over the summer, a 2-day tournament, 32 in all the games average. And that's where a lot of the Division I colleges wanted to see him play for them pretty quickly. Not next year. He's a senior next year. They try to get passed down low to Henderson, low post right. He gets bited into from behind. That's foul on Jalen Holland, I believe. Kind of a frustration foul. He got hit in the head at the other end. That's his second team foul. Now he will come out. Coach Julian says, nope, I'm not going to let you make the decision this time. Payne on the near right sideline of the front court for the Eagles. Gets it back to Turbiantes, the time stripe, and returns to Pena near the Taskovich band near right. Slides in the middle of the court, now back to the right side, uses up his dribble, throws a high one down low to Henderson, turnaround jumper, bouncing around the rim like popcorn that time, and finally falls through. 4 points for Henderson from that right base. 17-11, Eagles by 6. The inbound of the near sideline, pass is out quickly though for Lopez across the time stripe, dribbling to the right wing to Rico front court. To the left side, back over to Lopez, up top to Juarez. Sends it to the right wing to Rico, sings it back to the same side to Lopez. Returns it up top to Juarez. Quick pass to the left wing to Lopez. And we got a quick check foul there. They said Vega in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section extended his arms out a little bit too much and gets the foul. That's Vega's second. First team foul on the Eagles here in the second quarter. And it looks like Turbiantes is going to get a breather. Coming in for him for the Eagles, Javen Hernandez. Clay returns to the court. And looks like exiting will be Vega. David stays out, Pena and big man Henderson for the Eagles. Henderson's got about 5-6 inches on the tallest guy out on the court. Of course, Holland on the bench right now. The inbound stolen by Clay on the near right sideline. That will be the Tigers' third turnover. Outlet to Pena on the far left. He'll dribble across the time stripe. Stop and go. Cross over to his left hand. Almost fell down. Fadeaway jumper from 15 on the left side. Bounces off the rim, goes high up in the air, and it comes right through the cylinder. Pena now with 5 points. It's 19-11. Eagles got their biggest lead of 8. Up top to Kinsey for the Tigers. Make that Juarez. Slings over to the left side to Rico. Guarded closely by Pena. Goes baseline with the dribble underneath the hoop. Reverse layup right side. Nice. Going back over the top of his head with 2 hands and kind of bread baskets it back through for 2. Nice little move that time and good ball control for Fernando Rico. His first bucket. Hobbs by 6, 19-13. I guess you can try to get what you get there, right?
Exactly, but it looked pretty when he did it.
Try to get it down low to Henderson from Pena, and the ball's knocked out of Henderson's hands. Is getting behind him and just kind of punching out was Josiah Griego. Goes out to the right base. Hobbs Eagles will have it underneath the hoop. And now they're going to move it to the near right sideline here. Pena to inbound. Throws it back to Clay, right wing. He'll back it out to the timeline. Sliding left just a bit on the bottom wing of the Eagle logo. Gives it a hand off to Pena. Finds over to the left corner to Javen Hernandez. Dribbles up the sideline towards half court. One hand bounce pass down low to Henderson. Turns and fires. The ball rolls around the rim. It comes out.
Wow.
Pulled down underneath the hoop by Griego, his third. That was a gimme underneath. Outlet down the court to Aragon underneath the hoop. Sends it down right corner to Juarez. Returns right side to Kinsey. Back to the timeline to Rico. To the left wing to Isaiah Aragon. Finds Rico up top. Spins and gives it back right corner to Juarez. A lot of perimeter passing going on for Los Lunas. Dribbling behind his back, goes right baseline, jump stop, kick out right wing, and a three on the way, uncontested, hard off the back of the rim for Rico. Underneath the hoop is Malachi David, ripped down his fifth rebound. Him and Henderson are combined for 10 boards. 50 left first half. In the front court, Clay gets a pass on the right wing. Crossover to his left hand to the free throw line. Turns and fires a runner shot at the back of the rim. Tipped around by Henderson, pulls it down on the right block, his sixth rebound. To David on the right wing, his three hard at the back of the rim. On the free throw line for the board for the Tigers is Kinsey for his second board. Throws it across the timeline to Juarez, right wing. Throws it and gets it back from the right corner from Rico. Dribbles up top, unloads to Aragon. Over to left wing to Kinsey. Kinsey with a crossover, goes baseline. Underneath the hoop, reverse slab, hits the bottom of the backboard, gets his own rebound on the right base. Kick up top for three for Juarez off the back of the rim. Another big rebound for Henderson, jumping up high in the air to rip it down. He's got 7 boards. Throws it across the timeline to Clay with 3:10 left here in the first half. Clay puts his thumb up in the air to signal the play call for the Eagles. Dribbles left, bounce pass back door. Shot for Pena, left baseline, 18-footer hard at the back of the rim. Coming down with the rebound underneath the hoop, Fernando Rico. In transition, dribble himself, dribbling through his legs, lost the ball in the front court, returns it to himself, and kicks over to right wing, wide open. Kinsey for 3 off the back of the rim. Good thing they're not hitting. Henderson chases it down on the far left sideline for his 8th rebound. Coach Ross out of the court wants to stall it up here, call the timeout, and set up some O for the Eagles. 2:48 left, second quarter. Hobbs 19, Los Lunas 13. A quick second quarter. We return in 60 seconds. Welcome back live to Task Arena. Quick moving second quarter. Your Eagles lead by 6 over Los Lunas, 19-13. 2:48 left second quarter. Los Lunas comes in 10th in the Max Preps poll, and the Hobbs Eagles at number 19th. Hobbs with a better strength of schedule at 14.3. Los Lunas at 12.4. So, again, the Eagles have the advantage there. And on the scoreboard right now after the timeout, Eagle basketball. Clay comes up the near sideline with the dribble. Gets away out of traffic there. Now in the front court. Hand off to Pena. Pivots at the half-court stripe and comes to the right side in front of the Taskovich band. Gets a screen from Turbiatis. Fires over to Clay on the left wing. NBA 3 on the way. Air ball. Turbiatis comes down with it, but got a foul call. Might have been on the shot. If that's the case, he's going to get 3, does Clay. And Turbiatis just waiting for the ball in the paint that time. So Clay's going to get 3 shots here. They call a push foul on the shot by Isaiah Juarez. His first, 3rd team foul. As Clay will step up to the charity stripe. His first opportunity to try to score in this ballgame now from the free throw line.
Yeah, and hopefully he will be able to. He has been shooting nicely before this season, but hasn't had too many opportunities. And it may show. That one was a miss off the front.
77% coming in, 17 of 22. The Eagles as a team before this game at 66.9%. So one more now for Josiah Clay. Eagles are 3 of 4 from the line, or 3 of 5, and he makes his second free throw. Of course, he'd had a 3-point shot to start this off, and that's why he's getting 3 here. And you still see head coach Travis Julian kind of walking back and forth on the sideline instead of the baseline. He's going to take advantage of the different configurations here at Tasker Arena. Not really something that's been in the rule book where they can stand in a coaching box. Missed third free throw there for Clay, and pulled down by Jalen Holland, his 3rd board for Los Lunas. Dribbles across the timeline, gets a screen up top from Aragon. Holland will flick it out left wing to Juarez. Fires up a 3 as the defense backed off, no good. High sky rebound there on the left block for Pena. That's his 2nd board. Dribbles into the front court himself, right wing. Looks against Kinsey on defense, decides to stay away from him and backs it out on the near right sideline. 2 minutes left here in the second. Eagles by 7. Stop and go to the right wing. Fires up a 3 as the defender backed away. Air ball and a save at the baseline. And getting a piece of the ball was Aragon. Threw it off the legs of Hernandez that time. The ball goes out on the Eagles. Never really a rebound, but it will be Los Lunas basketball on the base. And Coach Julian now at the scores table, if you can believe that. Bench is down on the baseline. He's taken major advantage and passed the typical coach's box on the sideline even. Ball comes across to the pass to Kinsey in the front court. To Juarez on the right wing, clock to 140. Threads it back down low to the right block as Kinsey caught the ball, but then slid his feet underneath the hoop on the right side. Good D by Royal to stay down there that Josiah Clay, and gets the travel call there. Los Lunas now at their 4th turnover. Just 1 turnover for the Eagles. We talked about that in the pregame show, Ron. 31 turnovers Tuesday, still a win. They got to clean that up, and they're doing that tonight.
Exactly. They definitely need to clean it up. And you're right about the coach. I've never seen anybody go out there, not that I look at the coach all that often, especially when the Hobbs Eagles are playing, but still, that seems to be unique to me.
Yeah, he's still up on that sideline, keeps going towards the scores table. Here comes Royal. Keep saying Royal. Josiah Clay in the front court. Crosses it through his legs, kicks it up top to Pena. Dumps it wide open. Turbiatis, the defense all got sucked up towards the free throw line. Turbiatis is waiting for the pass. He's got 3 points now.
That'll be the easiest shot he's getting tonight.
9-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Eagles, 22-13. Coming to the other end. Quick pass down to the left corner to Lopez. Tries to set it up down low to Juarez, but stripped away by Turbiatis. Turn number 5 for the Tigers. Turbiatis in the front court, right wing. Puts it back to Pena near sideline right. 104. Eagles is going to run some offense here. Waiting for a screen from Turbiatis is Pena. Gets a double team. Cross court left to Hernandez. Big jump stop, and now comes up with a dribble towards the sideline. Hands off to Pena around the left circle. Goes baseline. Runs over his defender, and they call the charge. Good job of stepping up in the paint that time. Wait for the run over for Los Lunas' defense. That was a charge set up by Josiah Griego. Pena will pick up his 2nd personal, 2nd team foul, and that will be the 2nd turnover for the Hobbs Eagles. A bunch of 2s there.
Exactly, 2, and too many fouls so far. One more and get, no, they're still a ways from the bonus with 51 seconds remaining in this 2nd quarter.
Pass to the timeline, brought across by Kinsey. Over to Juarez in the front court. The jump stop far right sideline to 43 seconds. Coming back to get the handoff from him is Kinsey, still on the right sideline. Now back to the timeline, dribbling through his legs and backing out against Caceres, who just checked in. Lefty dribble, jump stop, throws it up top to Juarez. Puts his foot out there with a crossover move now, backs it out. Bounce pass to the left wing to Aragon. Good D by Pena, underhands it up top to Holland with 20 seconds. He's going to back it out himself to the timeline. Stop and go, fires up an NBA 3, top of the circle, off the back of the rim. He doesn't have any touch in this game so far. Ripped down though in the left wing by Kinsey for his 4th rebound. Throws it down the lane to Rico. Fires it right corner. 3 on the way for Juarez at the back of the rim. No good. Chased down left corner by Kinsey. Tries to post up Holland in the paint. We got a foul down low, a hold foul. Tried to thread the needle to Holland coming down the lane, and clock stop with 1.7, but a hold foul on the Eagles. Was not a shooting foul, as they'll charge that to Jairus Turbiatis. 3rd team foul, 1st on Turbiatis. And now they're going to get one last inbound from the right baseline underneath the Tigers' hoop. They trail the Eagles by 9. Inbounding is Kinsey. Throws a high one back to Holland at the free throw line. Fadeaway jumper at the buzzer. Bounce around the rim and good. Yeah, he likes difficult shots. We talked about that in the pregame show, and he puts one down there to finish up the scoring for the Tigers in the first half. But Hobbs Eagles with a 7-point lead, 22-15 over Los Lunas. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet. We're here at halftime at Tasker Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles with a big lead of 22-15 over Los Lunas. Right now, the Eagles upsetting Los Lunas, the number 10 team in the state. Hobbs coming in at number 19. Of course, the Tigers at 9-6. Your Hobbs Eagles at 6-11. So a big difference in wins at this point. But hey, Hobbs would like to get 2 in a row here at Tasker, and with one more coming up tomorrow. Of course, the Eagles playing Cleveland tomorrow, Ron.
Yes.
Cleveland ranked second in the state, 13-3 record. Of course, they're a team that likes to play tournaments too. They got a lot up in the north. They come down here to the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. They got upset in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, so they did not get to play for the championship.
No, but they did play Farmington, lost, like you said, by 3 points in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and that was surprising. We were expecting Cleveland to come out as a winner. It's one of the few games that they've lost. Another one was Volcano Vista. That is not surprising because Volcano Vista right now is still currently number 1. Although they did, they played them twice. Lost both times to Volcano Vista, so they are a tough out to get. And tomorrow they're going to be even tougher, especially since just yesterday they played Sandia and beat them 82-64. So you know that that's a 2-game winning streak, but still, because they played Volcano Vista. In fact, they may be playing Volcano Vista after Hobbs on the 24th. So they're really tested against this Volcano Vista team, who is apparently better than so far better than Cleveland. But you know what? Cleveland always adjusts and makes that nice, timely adjustment to be able to get in and win. And I have a feeling that they're going to be strong against Volcano Vista, and they're definitely going to be rough against Hobbs tomorrow as they travel here.
And the Eagles, by the time they're all said and done, by the time district is over with here in a few weeks, Hobbs will have played 10 of the top 20 teams in the Max Preps poll. They would have played all 3 of the 1, 2, and 3 teams, Volcano Vista, Cleveland, and Oregon Mountain. So they've already played a couple of them already. They also played 8, 9, and 10, Farmington, Clovis, and Los Lunas. Of course, Clovis in their district. So Los Lunas and Farmington will already be under their belts by district time. They've also played Rio Rancho, 14th. Las Cruces, number 17, which they beat. They're going to play Carlsbad, number 18. Right. Hobbs is, of course, 19. And then Centennial coming in at number 20 this week. They also defeated them earlier this season. So there you look at it, half of the teams, and that's what you want to do. The problem is sometimes just playing them ain't good enough. So when they go, decide the rankings and what's going to happen in terms of seedings for the state tournament, W's will definitely have a lot more weight than just, that team was ranked and you lost to them by 10. That ain't going to cut it. But still, they're not getting all their wins against junk opponents either. Of course, you look at some of the teams the Eagles have played hard. I mean, Gene Messer tournament, they had 4 tough Texas squads.
Right.
APS Metro, which not hardly any team outside of Albuquerque gets in, but Hobbs and Gallup. And then you also have your own Hobbs Holiday Tournament where you have Cleveland and some of these other squads that are pretty dominant.
Right. I mean, you do have a few lesser schools that you play against, but the thing is with Hobbs is they don't underplay like some teams do, where they have a lesser team, so they play below their skills. No, Hobbs goes ahead and plays them strong. Unfortunately, sometimes in the fourth quarter, things get away from them, get out of hand, and Hobbs tends to lose it in the fourth quarter. But I think right now they're playing strong so far. It is not a great scoring game. It's 22-15 so far. But still, I think Hobbs is doing their thing. The problem is it's on both sides. For whatever reason, the hoop is closed. There is very little inability to get those 3-point shots, 2-point shots. The only thing that's really sinking right now is the three free throw shots.
Hobbs did get 3 3-pointers in the first half, but Holland having some trouble getting some point production, although he is in the lead in terms of points at 10 right now. He had 6 in the first quarter, just 4 in the second, but has missed a lot of trays in the first half. Also scoring for Los Lunas, Isaiah Juarez and Fernando Rico both getting a bucket apiece. Rex Kinsey went 1 of 3 from the line for 1 point, so they only have 4 scores in the book so far. They've had 14 rebounds. Leader was Kinsey with 5. Holland and Griego both getting 3 apiece. And that was actually 4 rebounds less than the Hobbs Eagles, who had 18 in that first half of action. Los Lunas with more turnovers in the first half as well. They've got 5 compared to Hobbs 2. And they're shooting 3 of 5 from the charity stripe, 60% from that line. Your Hobbs Eagles already with 6 scores in the game. Very balanced scoring. Braylon Vega hit 2 trays for 6. Abraham Pena 5 points, including a tray and 2 rebounds. It was Parker Henderson 4 points and 8 rebounds. Jairus Turbiatas hit 3 points, 1 of 2 from the line and 3 rebounds. Malachi David went 3 points with 1-for-1 free throw shooting and 5 boards. Josiah Clay went 1 of 3 from the line for 1 point. Top rebounder for the Eagles, Henderson with 8, 5 for Malachi David, and 3 for Turbiatis. Again, they out rebounded Los Lunas by 4. Hobbs with 3 less turnovers with 2 total. Hobbs was 3 of 6 from the free throw line at 50%. And the Eagles were up by 3 at the end of the first quarter and outscored Los Lunas 10-6. You mentioned the basket being closed. I think it's been a lot more closed for Los Lunas, especially with those three-point shots. Every possession, they're getting at least 3 or 4 looks at the three-point line, but hitting hard off the back of the rim.
Yeah, they're hitting around the rim, but they're not getting it in the cylinder, which is what they want to do. Luckily for Hobbs, otherwise this could be a completely different game, and the Eagles could be staring up at a deficit. Instead, they got a 7-point lead.
Hey, don't choke on that cough drop while you're at it there.
All right.
We got about a minute 20 before the second half. Hobbs leading over Los Lunas 22-15. We'll be back in 90 seconds live on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Tasker Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Evie Stuber with you as your Hobbs Eagles get the ball to start the third quarter up by 7, 22-15, going right to left on the radio dial. Payne in the front court, finds Turbiatis in the right corner. Sends it down low to David on the right block, dribbles through 2 defenders, gets triple team pressure then. Over to Turbiatis in the right corner, tries a hippity hop, lost it off his own elbow off the dribble, and boots it out of bounds on the baseline for the turnover. Not the way you want to start the second half, up by 7 though, Ron.
No, it is not, but that just means that the defense has got to get on the horse a little quicker.
Third turnover for the Eagles as inbound coming across the timeline with the dribble now Holland. Stop and go, goes baseline, bangs into Turbiatis. Runs him over with the shoulder that time and gets the charging foul. Turbiatis holds his ground until too much of a wall up and goes backward, rolls on the ground, and looks like he got hit in the pelvic area and kind of holding that a little bit and wincing in pain as he heads to the other end.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of times that Hobbs has earned a charge, and that one looked like it hurt a little bit. Yeah, like you said, anyway, Turbiatis is still limping on that one.
That's the 6th turnover for Los Lunas, and by the way, 3rd foul on Holland. He's got to come out of the game in foul trouble. Only had 10 in the first half. That doesn't sound too bad, but he was the top scorer. They get it down low to Henderson, left block. They're going to say he shuffled his feet on 2 defenders that time, trying to do a hook with it and gets the travel. So Hobbs with another turnover in a row, 2 in a row, that is. 4 total in the ball game, so not too horrible of a number yet. Averaging about 16.5 turnovers a contest, far away from that. The inbound to half court brought across by Kinsey to the right wing. Holland will be out for definitely a few minutes there, so Hobbs should take advantage of that. Gives the ball off to left wing. As dribbling with it for a second is Rico. Kicks it right and then gets it back from Juarez. Over to left side with a spin is Kinsey. Returns back deep to Juarez. To the right wing, 3 on the way for Aragon. Gets rejected by Henderson. Trying to get a piece of the ball and then goes off his hand out of bounds on the near sideline. Tried to chase it down there, but completely just rejected that shot for 3 on the right wing.
Yeah, it was a nice disruption against the Tigers. Henderson just could not grab it or get the handle on the ball, and it went out of bounds.
Inbound in the backcourt, bringing it across the timeline off the dribble, Kinsey. Top of the circle against Vega. Jump stop, pass to the right wing. To Rico. Rico one hands over to Juarez on the left side perimeter. Cross court right, back to Rico. To the right corner, driving Aragon after getting the pass. Sends it down left corner to Juarez. Zings it back to the top left wing to Kinsey. Stop and go at the free throw line. Drug his pivot foot as he's looking for a pass down low. Wasn't open. Then he kind of leaned forward, almost went to the ground that time and picked up his pivot foot and went back to the floor. That'll be the 7th turnover for the Tigers. And once again, stalking the sideline is Coach Julian. Baseline was where the bench is, but he's all the way up towards the scorer's table.
Yeah, and he is definitely making sure he's shouting those orders out.
Turbiatis gets a pass in the front court from Pena on the left wing, up top. Sends it down to Vega, left corner, looks for a three, decides not to take it. One hands it back to Turbiatis, top of the circle, and Pena comes from behind to get the handoff. Gives it right back to Turbiatis, coming down the lane, lost the ball, never really had control over it, but he's going to lose it right to the hands of Isaiah Juarez in the paint. That is the Eagles' 5th turnover. Throws it ahead across the timeline to Rico, left wing. To the right wing to Juarez. Holds it for a second, kick up top to Kinsey, guarded by Turbiatis. Over the left perimeter to Rico. Rico keeps it left side with a pass to Aragon. Cross court right to Kinsey. Keeps it on the right wing. Unloads to Rico with a lefty dribble now. Down the lane, tries to scoop pass up top and throws it low to Kinsey. Vega gets a hand on it and ties it up. We got officials running in. They did not want Pena and Kinsey to go at it, and they're screaming at each other in their faces, and Pena's got to be calmed down there. I think they got a jump ball before that. Should be Los Lunas basketball. Yes, it is. But, yeah, Pena, Vega kind of got all mixed up with some guards there for Los Lunas, and the referees charging in there to try to make sure there was no fight.
It looked like Kinsey was getting a little mouthy on that one.
Coach Ross sends in a sub for the Eagles and brings out Turbiatis and sends aboard Josiah Clay. Tigers stacked it at the half stripe and get the inbound in the backcourt to Kinsey. Goes one-on-one against Pena, dribbling behind his back, stop and go. Comes to the left perimeter, swings it up top to Rico. Down to the right corner, Juarez thought about a three, backed out as he saw Henderson step out on him with that 6'11" frame. Cross court left to Kinsey. Gets a screen, stand away from it as Vega, good D. Unloads the left wing to Rico. Rico give it back to Juarez on the left side, lost the ball, dumps it left baseline to Rico, comes underneath the hoop, kick it back up top, a three on the way for Aragon. In and out, no good off the glass. Ball's loose underneath the paint, on the knees is Rico to pull it down. And they get a timeout, so there's no travel call. He was kind of spinning around underneath the hoop on his knees, looking for somebody to throw it out to. And a good decision by Coach Julian to call the timeout. And Ron, let's talk about some of our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle basketball as they lead Los Lunas by 7 here in the third.
Yes, we'd like to thank the following sponsors: Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Driftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Health Home Care, NMR Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much for all your support.
Boy, a very close battle going on at Moriarty tonight. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles taking on Farmington. Of course, Farmington been one of the top 5 teams in the state last couple seasons. A 1-point ball game up to this point.
We got a final on that one, too. Unfortunately, it is not good for Hobbs. It is a 1-point loss, 46-45. Farmington pulls it out against the Hobbs Eagles. They were down for a while. They came back, just could not get that, shoot the trigger, so to speak, and get the win.
Of course, that game was in Moriarty, wasn't the full travel to Farmington, and so 2 losses for the Lady Eagles now. Of course, actually 3. They lost their first game of the season in Lubbock, and have lost a couple since then, one at the APS Metro and then one tonight, but still one of the top teams in the state, the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Farmington beat them a couple years ago at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship. A lot of their players return. Los Lunas after their timeout, ball at the top of the arc to Juarez. He's going to go down the lane, hippity hop, scoop shot rejected by Henderson. He's had 3 blocked shots tonight and doing a good job of watching the basketball, not just swinging his arm out there like a octopus. He's waiting for that leather to kind of leave the hand, and then he just takes a good swat, volleyball style, and spikes it to the baseline. Going to be Los Lunas basketball. No look inbound pass to the right side of the lane. Nobody guarding the wide open layup guy, Isaiah Aragon, for the 2 points off the glass. Hobbs caught flat-footed on that one, 22-17. Eagles by 5. In the front court, Pena fakes a 3 top of the arc. Dribbles the right elbow, kick up top to Clay. Clay finds Henderson on the left wing, hands it back to Clay. Gets a screen from Henderson, top of the circle, slides right, then gives it back left to Vega. Dumps it back to Henderson in the paint, tries to get it back to David, but throws it way behind him out of bounds to the far right sideline, out. And that'll be 6 Eagles turnovers. And again, unforced errors is not what you need in such a close game, only a 5-point lead for the Eagles.
Especially when the first score just happened just moments ago with Los Lunas. Hobbs has not scored yet in this third quarter. They need to get on that track, and otherwise they're just opening it wide up for this Los Lunas team.
Yeah, only 2 points so for Los Lunas, so not the most exciting basketball at this point. The Eagles fans are kind of waiting for something to juice it up. Into the front court, a pass to Juarez, top of the circle, sends it to Holland, who just checked back in with 3 fouls, pivoting on the right block, gets a double team with Turbiantes and Pena. Pena strips him from behind, and the official calls the foul. The official shaking his head yes to Turbiantes. Turbiantes had a little talk with him there, but not going to change the call. They call it on Jay Iris. That's his second personal, first team foul. The Eagle fans are shaking their heads no to the referees saying yes.
Well, of course they are. They are homies, so they want their calls to go their way.
Inbounding on the right baseline is Kinsey. Gets it into Holland on the right wing. He has 10 points all in the first half, but sat out most of this third quarter. Fadeaway 3 out the front of the rim. He can't get one to drop on the trays. Turbiantes rips it down in front of the rim. His 4th rebound. Gives it back on the near sideline left to Pena across the timeline. The Hobbs Eagle student section is chanting overrated towards Holland, who's only got those 10 points. To David on the left wing, fires a 3 off the front of the rim. Jairus Turbiantes pulls it down right baseline, throws him a hook off the side rim, and there's Holland underneath the hoop. Holland's going to take the dribble himself after his 4th rebound. He doesn't like that chant from the Hobbs section, goes down the lane, throws a scoop shot over the front of the rim and scores in the foul. So put 2 in the books for Holland. Maybe the Hobbs Eagles student section better be careful. They don't want to give him too much of that locker room smack there as he goes up for 2. He's got 12 points and a chance for a 3-point play. They charge the foul to Malachi David, his second Eagles team foul here in the third quarter.
Sometimes when you poke the bear, you get bit, and unfortunately that's what happened against Hobbs. This puts it to a 3-point lead for Hobbs. Could be a 2 depending on if Holland gets this extra point.
Jordan Caceres checks on for the Eagles, as well as Javen Hernandez. Taking a seat, Henderson and Malachi David. So here comes Holland. He's 2 of 2 on the line. Team is 3 of 5 and swishes it through. He's got 13. 22-20. Now he's got to go out. He's putting his hands up in the air to Coach Julian. Why are you taking me out, Coach? Well, you've got 3 fouls, and you're a top scorer is what the deal is. And there's still a whole quarter left after this. Exactly. 22-20 Hobbs by 2 with 3:20 left in the third. Caceres zings it across the timeline, far right wing, front court to Pena. Right near the sideline, waiting for a screen from Turbiantes. Goes around it, gets hit in the head as he tries to get by the defense of Isaiah Aragon, who chops his head off with his arm that time, the forearm. Aragon picks up his second team foul against the Tigers. Clock stops at 3:15 left third quarter. Eagle basketball on the far right sideline. At the 28-foot mark, gets it into Vega, who bobbles it in the right corner, able to save it back deep to Caceres at the timeline. Hand off to Pena. Stutter step with the dribble. He'll back it out. He wants a clear out here on the near sideline left. As coming up on D is Rico. Drives the left baseline, fadeaway jumper from 15, nothing but net. Pena now puts through 2. He's got 7 to lead the Eagles scoring. Hobbs with 6 scores. The outlet to half court to Rico to bring it across. Sends it to the left wing. Jump stop for Juarez. Up top to Kinsey. To the right wing to Rico. Little perimeter passing game finds Juarez now on the left side of the perimeter. Same side to Kinsey off the touch pass in front of the sideline. Crossover move. Dribbles through his legs. No look pass to the right corner. Waiting for the shot for 3. Rico, an air ball. Trying to grab it on the baseline. His Pena might have jammed his finger there on the left hand. As actually, no, it hit the private parts there. Yeah. He got hunched over, and he's trying to take some deep breaths there to get over. It looked like he might have jammed his finger trying to save that one, but it's going to be Los Lunas basketball on the right baseline underneath their hoop. Get it into the right corner. Fadeaway 3 for Juarez off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Javen Hernandez underneath the hoop. Hernandez with his first board. Gives it off to Pena. Pena kind of slowing it up just a bit as he comes across the timeline. Probably trying to recover from the low shot. Gets the screen from Turbiantes. Goes down the lane with the runner shot. Bounce around the rim and good.
Nice answer.
Pena, back-to-back buckets. He's got 9 to lead the Eagles. 26-20 with 2:05 remaining here in the third. At the other end, go to the rack. Missing the lefty layup is Kinsey. Ball gets knocked around. Holland had a piece of it. Might have been touched by Hernandez for the Eagles. Goes out of bounds. Turbiantes was in the area too. It will be Tiger basketball once again at that right baseline. So Holland back in the ball game with those 3 fouls, but leads his team in scoring with 13. Try to go back door. The ball gets ricocheted off. Aragon chases it left corner. Back to Holland on the left wing. Fadeaway 3 out the back of the rim. He hasn't made one yet. Turbiantes rips it down underneath the hoop. He's got 6 boards. In front court to Pena from the left wing. His 3 in and out, no good. And in the lane for the rebound is Kinsey for his 6th. Comes across the timeline. Both teams are settling for one and dones on the offense. Slowing it down with dribbling through his legs is Kinsey with 1:35 left third. Bad pass down the lane, picked up by Pena. Turner number 8. He'll go to the rack, cradling, and the scoop and the score on the right side glass on the layup. Chance for a three-point play for Pena. He's got 6 points, 3 buckets in a row, 11 total for the Eagles.
That was a nice coast-to-coast, went smoothly out to the glass, was able to bank it off there and get that extra one as well. Could be a 9-point game for the Eagles with 1:31 left, and there's a timeout on the floor.
Rex Kinsey picks up his first third team foul for the Tigers. And Pena, again, with 11 points and a chance to make it 12. We'll take a quick 30 as well. 28-20, your Eagles up by 8 over Los Lunas. Back in half a minute on your Hobbs Eagle Network. (28-20), your Hobbs Eagles lead by 8 with 1:31 left here in the third quarter. Eagles have had 3 3-pointers go down tonight here at Tasker. 0 for Los Lunas, but they're not stopped trying, though. They've been taking them off and still haven't got much to drop even close to the rim on their tray attempts.
Yeah, 53.8 is the score they usually get for the Tigers on the average. So far, they're not even close to it. Neither is Hobbs, though, with 58 points a game.
Yeah, neither team really, Hobbs a little bit more than half of their production, but not Los Lunas. The free throw missed off the front of the rim, pulled down by Jalen Holland, his 5th rebound. The miss by Pena. 28-20, Holland going to fire up a 3 left wing off the front of the rim again, and there's Turbiates to run it down on the far right sideline. For Turbiates, that's his 7th rebound. That's his average of the season, by the way. Pass to Pena on the right wing, tipped out. Good hustle by Holland to get a piece of it. Almost ran himself into the scores table that time on that far right sideline. Eagle basketball with an 8-point lead, a 1:14 left in the third. Pena to inbound, throws it to the timeline to Caceres. Back to Pena on the bouncer to the right wing. To Vega right corner, posting up. Turbiates overthrows him on that right block and sailing over the top. Taken away by Kinsey, Eagles' 7th turnover. To the left wing and then over to Holland on the top of the arc. Hippity hop down the lane, runs into 2 defenders, throws up a shot, and Javen Hernandez tried to help out with Turbiates and Caceres converging on top of Holland that time. They're going to get the foul on the Eagles, of course. That's Javen Hernandez's first personal, 3rd team foul. When they played Volcano Vista was really trying to pretty much pack in the lane against Jalen Holland because they know he can score with the penetration, and then they started shooting trays. They got 9 3-pointers against Volcano Vista, and they're not a very good 3-point shooting team, which we're seeing tonight as well. So they came kind of out of a spurt there, and were able to get the outsides to drop, and Holland bricks up the free throw, kind of laughing about it, but this is not one of their better games this season. There are only 3 games above 500, Ron, but they played a lot of 5A opponents, so at the same time.
Exactly, but if you put like 30 up and you expect to see 7 drop, then you're happy with that. But unfortunately, yeah, I think they put up at least 25 and just have not seen anything score, at least nothing easy anyway.
Second shot was bouncing around the rim and good for Holland. He's got 14 overall, 4 of those coming here in the third quarter, but with 3 fouls on his name. 28-21. Inbound to Pena. He wants everybody to clear out. He's going to go one-on-one against Rex Kinsey. Brings it across the timeline to the near left side. Double team now. High pass down the left wing to Caceres. He tried to spin and pass. It throws it way ahead of the postman Hernandez to the baseline. Taken away from the Tigers by Aragon, turnover number 8. Pass to the right wing to Rico. Kicks it left to Juarez. Drives the lane. A runner shot with his left hand off the back of the rim. Turbiates rips it from the right block. He's got 8 rebounds. To Vega at the time stripe. Over to Caceres left corner, returns to Vega and to Payne at the timeline in front of the Taskovich band on the left sideline. 20 seconds left. They're going to wait for the last shot. Coach Ross wants to see his wings widen out. Kick it down to right corner to Hernandez. Double team. Dumps it low to Turbiates. A push in the back. They call the foul on Isaiah Juarez underneath on that right block. His second for the Tigers. 4th foul on the team. 1 away from the double bonus, but only 13.9 seconds left in the quarter, third.
So, yeah, unless they foul him really quickly, it won't matter so much. But, yeah, they wanted to feed Turbiates the ball. Finally got it to him, but got fouled in the process.
Eagles only 6 points in this quarter. 6 for Los Lunas, and we got a violation underneath. They called it travel, the inbound, and then a couple of steps there for Caceres. That'll be the Eagles' 9th turnover. They've had them on the last 3 possessions, too, which is not looking good here. You want to kind of maintain the lead, but kind of maybe add to it, get it up to at least 10, some double-digit breathing room there. 12.5 seconds left, third quarter. Hobbs by 7. It's going to be the inbound to the right corner of the backcourt from Holland to Rico. Gets a double team against Pena and Caceres on the near right sideline. And from the student section, swings it to the half court to Aragon. Kicks out right wing to Kinsey for 3 at the back of the rim. Down to 1 second. Chased and a half court shot at the buzzer by Pena. It hits off the back of the iron. So it kind of bounced to him at the half court after a long 3-point shot for Los Lunas. And Pena had a chance to put it down. Unfortunately, it doesn't go through the cylinder. Pena does pick up his 3rd rebound, and he loved where that hit his hands right at half court. Well, your Hobbs Eagles up by 7, 28-21 at the end of 3 over Los Lunas. Come back with us in 30 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the internet and on the radio, Cool 95.7. We get ready for the fourth quarter here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Los Lunas 28-21. Top scorer for Los Lunas is Jalen Holland, 14 points for him. Nobody even close to him. The highest number after him is just 2. Juarez, Rico, and Aragon also with a couple of buckets apiece, or 1 bucket apiece. For your Hobbs Eagles, Abraham Payne with 11, 6 for Vega, 4 for Henderson, 3 for Turbiatis, and Malachi David with 3 and Clay with 1. Eagle basketball to start the fourth. A 3 for Vega off the glass, left side, no good. On the 3-point shot, pulled down by Kinsey, his 7th rebound. Throws a high one across the timeline. Holland jumps in the air, pulls it down, runs baseline, spins, double clutch left glass, no good. Ball tipped in the air. We got a rebounding foul. Looked like Javen Hernandez and Turbiatis on that left block were just kind of tiptoeing it up there with Holland. I don't know if anybody got an advantage on that one, but they called a foul on the Eagles. Kind of a tight one there. Crowd kind of moaning about it. That's Hernandez's 2nd personal, 1st team foul here in the 4th quarter. Nobody been in the double bonus through 3 quarters of play up to this point. Eagles and Los Lunas both got 6 points in the 3rd. 7-point Eagle lead. Holland get the inbound, throw the 3 from the left side. Clunks at the bottom of the backboard. Rebound on the left block by Griego. Gives it back to Holland on the left wing. Crossover move, spins in the paint. Double clutch over the right side of the rim and puts it through. I think he better just keep penetrating, not shoot any more of those 3-point shots. 16 now for Holland to lead both teams. Hobbs up by 9. Up by 7 now. At the other end, a long pass to Turbiatis, left block, goes up with a good head fake, throws up a shot on the left side of the iron and puts it through. Turbiatis, that head fake got him an open bucket that time. He's got 5. Back to a 9-point lead, 32-23. Scoreboard hasn't changed yet. They kind of had a mistake on the Los Lunas side, but I'll have to double check the score here in just a second. In the front court, the pass to Juarez, top of the circle. They're still going to stick it with 30-23, it looks like, a 7-point lead. Gives it off to Griego on the left wing. Coming back to get it top of the circles, Holland. He's going to spot a 3. And can you believe it? He finally gets one through. That's the first tray of the game for the Tigers, but they don't put their bread and butter on that. 19 for him. At the other end, Pena fires up a jumper from the free throw line and puts it through the cylinder.
Good
Pena
answer.
now with 13 points.
Nice answer. And they needed that too. And they need to get a little more consistency in the offense. Of course, both sides do that.
32-26. Holland on the left wing goes up in the air after dribbling. Comes back down on the ground and starts to dribble again, and that's the traveling violation. So that'll be the 9th Los Lunas turnover. Getting a little bit too hot dog on that one. Eagles still by 6, but a close ball game regardless with 6:17 remaining. Caceres with a bad pass, cross court from right to left. It's stolen by Kinsey. Goes to the rack, double clutch, lost the ball on the bottom of the backboard. It was the Eagles' 10th turnover, and then we've got a turnover again back to the Eagles as Vega gets it back, but they call a charge against Los Lunas, and now it's going to be against Jalen Holland. He puts both of his arms up in the air in front of the ref's face, protesting the call. I didn't get a T. That is his 4th personal, 15th foul. That'll be the 10th turnover for Los Lunas and the 11th for the Eagles. Kind of a mix and match of mess there between the two teams.
Exactly, but you got to keep it clean, just play by the rules. And also this back and forth passing needs to slow down. They're inviting too much interceptions.
Holland, Holland is getting, no, it wasn't Holland. It was Holland left the game. Kinsey gets a steal at the half court line. The Eagles 12 turnover, dumps it down to the right block to Aragon. Up top to Rico. Rico will get the ball pass left and picks it up from Juarez in the left corner. Sails it up top to Kinsey, top of the circle, over to right wing to Juarez. Lots of rotation on the perimeter now. He finds Rico top of the arc. Over to left side to Kinsey, still outside the perimeter, back to the timeline to Juarez. Dribbles left and hands it off to Kinsey. Top of the circle off the screen. Crossover move, free throw line, head fake, goes in the lane, takes a couple, 3 steps, tries to do a scoop shot from left to right, gets a travel. Again, Los Lunas is thinking way too much about their penetration, not just smooth moves like they see from Holland usually, but he's on the bench with 4 fouls.
Yeah, they look like they have not faced a tall guy like Henderson, and instead of trying to get around him, he forgot to bounce the ball. Of course, got caught for the travel.
Los Lunas with their 11th turnover. Eagles ball in the front court with a 6-point lead. Pass to Vega right wing, posting up Henderson. A long pass to the baseline. He had to chase it and lost control of it. Gives it right back to Juarez and the Tigers. Eagles 13th turnover. Into the right wing to Juarez, front court, crossover move. Touch pass behind to Kinsey, right side. Stop and go back to the timeline, guarded by Payne, who comes right out with him. Crossover again. Unloads with a one-hander to Juarez on the right wing. Soria, who just checked in, plays some D against him. Over to left side to Griego. Jump stop on a pass catch from Fernando Rico, top of the circle. Finds Aragon on the left wing. Quickly unloads it to the left corner to Griego, the triple threat. Over to Kinsey, left wing still. Back deep again, running clock to Rico at the timeline. Dribbles to the right elbow, turns and fires a J. A fadeaway over the rim, left side, no good. Turbiate's there to rip it down in the paint. He's got 9 boards. Outlet across the timeline to Vega, to Henderson in the middle of the paint. He tries to throw it backwards to Turbiates instead of going up with it in the middle of the lane, and overthrows Turbiates out of bounds on the far right sideline. So that'll be another Eagle turnover, 14, not helping themselves out offensively. A stale offensive situation here, Ron, 32-26. Eagles have scored 4 and only 5 for Los Lunas here in the fourth.
And I hate to say this, but the last 2 times it was a turnover. It was Henderson who did it. Unfortunately, one time he was under the basket, tried to get the ball out again, wasn't able to. That time it looked like he was going to get an alley-oop-ish kind of thing, but instead he went ahead and passed it, and that was another turnover.
Yeah, he was going to the basket with kind of the ball over his head, turns and fires the ball backwards to the right wing, and then threw it behind his teammate. Los Lunas down the front court. Flick it over to Holland, wide open NBA 3. Malachi David tries to get out there to put a hand on it, hits the front of the rim. Long rebound for Pena in transition. His 4th rebound. Stop and go, left corner, fadeaway jumper for 18 off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the middle of the paint by Kilcullen for Los Lunas. He'll drive to the other end, give it off to Juarez, lefty layup, and we got a call in the paint. Looks like the Eagles might have been holding on there. They charged a foul to Josiah Clay, who just checked in momentarily. His first personal, 2nd team foul. And it will be Los Lunas' ball on the far left sideline, right where Coach Julian is standing for much of the game. Substitution for the Tigers. On the court is Jacob Garcia. I don't think we've seen him in the game so far until this point.
Exactly.
Inbounding will be Kinsey. Back to the backcourt to Holland. Holland will take on Turbiates. Hippity hop dribble. Stays at the Hobbs Eagle logo. Crossover down the lane. He gets bited into. They call the foul about the free throw line. Turbiates flat on his back like he got ran over. Hobbs fans thought it was a charging foul, but they're going to say Holland got held on to a little bit. Actually, might have been stepped on his ankle that time as they call the foul on the Eagles. That's their 3rd. And they call the foul against Turbiates, his 3rd. No shooting foul on that one. It'll be Los Lunas ball on the left baseline with 3:48 remaining. Hobbs by 6, and now back in the game, Vega for Soria. Eagles match it up man-to-man now with that 32-26 lead. Kinsey will try to get it in, throws it back deep to Holland on the left wing, guarded by Turbiates. Crossover moves. Here comes the NBA 3. Rainbow jumper off the front of the rim. Can't get that to drop. Pulled underneath by Pena, his 5th rebound. Dribbles into the front court against double team pressure, and Coach Ross calls timeout on the baseline. So, boy, Holland just cannot get many trays to drop. He's only had 1 put through, and the only tray of the game for the Tigers, who are not known for their outside shooting. 3:37 left here in the fourth. Your Hobbs Eagles trying to get 2 in a row here at Tasker. Lead Los Lunas 32-26. Back in half a minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Well, Ron, I don't think this game's going to make it to the ESPN highlight reels tonight. 32-26. You mentioned earlier it's kind of I was going to say baseball. It's more of a football score with a couple of touchdowns per team, but really not a lot of scoring in this fourth quarter. 4 points for the Eagles, 5 for Los Lunas. We've kind of been at a standstill and trading turnovers at each end of the court.
Yeah, we thought it was bad enough that Hobbs had just a single double figure in both 12 and 10, but since then, the scoring has just gone downhill, and it has been tougher and tougher to get it in the basket.
Well, of course, the Eagles beat Las Cruces with 31 turnovers in that game Tuesday with the victory. With that many turnovers, you'd never think they'd have a chance, but that was a double-digit win. Eagles try to get it into Clay on the right wing. He fumbled the ball away, taking it to the other end, and a layup on the left side, rolling around the rim, and good for Juarez, his 4th point. The Eagles 15 turnovers, so they're starting to get up to those double digits you don't want. Pena gets the inbound, slides his feet outside the paint on the right side of the backcourt, and kind of lost control of his pass there, stumbled ahead and got the travel call. So Eagles with back-to-back turnovers after a timeout, now up to 16 in the ball game. But they only have a 4-point lead. We talked about fourth quarters not being a strong point over the last couple of weeks. But now 3:18 remaining. It's going possibly down the wire here.
Yeah, Pena was questioning it, but didn't do it for too long. Just is not like him to play like that.
Inbound to the left wing to Holland. He's been staying alive with 4 fouls. Throws it but 3 from the left wing. Off the back of the rim, no good. Chased down left corner by Kinsey, his 8th rebound. Back to Holland. Drives the left baseline, leads and shoots. Counted off the glass and the foul. He was on the left block, going up strong that time. Holland has put in 7 points here in the fourth quarter, 21 overall. And a foul on the Eagles. They'll charge that one to Malachi David, his 2nd, 14th foul.
Holland's pretty good on the line. If he hits this one, it could be a 1-point game with 3:07 remaining, and that, of course, will change the whole dynamic of this thing as far as defense as well as offense.
Yeah, he's 4 of 5 from the line. Now make it 5 of 6 as he makes the free throw. 22 points overall. Once again, 8 in this fourth quarter. Hobbs by 1 with 3 minutes remaining. They were up by 7 at the end of 3. In the front court, Pena jumps in the air, finds Turbiatis left block, back out to Pena, fires a 3, gets shoved backwards towards the Hobbs Eagles student section. They call the foul. Ball hit off the left rim, but that will put Pena on the line to shoot 3. And they call the foul against the Tigers. Let's see who that was against. I think it was Josiah Griego, I believe. Nope, correction. Let's make that Isaiah Aragon, his 3rd. Only the first team foul against the Tigers, making the 2nd team foul against the Tigers here in the fourth quarter. Pena on the line, 0 for 1 in this game. 13 points so far. And make it 14 as he nails the free throw there, his 3rd point here in the fourth quarter. Pena came in on the free throw stripe on the season before tonight's game at 85%, or make it 69%.
And these two teams, or these two schools, are tied at 3-3 on this series. So the next one who wins, of course, is going to have the advantage. But Hobbs has lost the last 2 games, 2023 and 2022, respectively.
Missed his 2nd free throw off the front of the rim. Gets shot number 3, is good, a swish. 15 for Pena to lead the Eagles. 34-31, Hobbs by 3 with 2:50 left in the fourth. Crossing it behind his back is Kinsey, now in the front court. Hands it off to Holland on the left side of the mid-stripe. He's asking for a screen, doesn't use it, but throws it again over to Rico. Rico going off to the left wing to Aragon, dribbles up top, unloads to Juarez on the right side, to Holland, overthrows him to the near sideline, right to the front row there, out of bounds, and that will be out for a turnover. Los Lunas now with 12 turnovers of their own, and the Eagles trying to add on to a 3-point lead with 2:30 remaining. They give it to David on the far right side, back deep to Payne in the backcourt. He'll go through the timeline against Kinsey. For the Vega right wing, NBA 3, it swishes it through. Kind of wonder if he was going to shoot that, and he did. That's his 3rd tray of the ball game. He's got 9 points, a 4th tray for the Eagles in this contest, leading by 6, 37-31. Pass to the other end to Juarez, left wing. Behind him to Holland, pivoting against double team pressure. Turbiatis and Caceres. Fadeaway 3 from the left side, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound at the free throw line for Vega. Throws it ahead to a wide open Pena. He was going to go up and dunk, kind of lost it over the rim, but throws it through for 2 on the right side of the iron. Put it through for Pena, and a timeout for Los Lunas. 17 points for Abraham Pena, and your Hobbs Eagles up by 8 with 1:57 remaining. We'll keep it right here. Is that big enough of a cushion for the Eagles to get to the finish line?
It isn't, but that was a great 1-minute play for the Hobbs Eagles. That's exactly what they needed, and you know what? They needed that big spark. They need to continue that big spark and be able to slow down the Tigers to get this victory. They are close to it, but they still have too much time on the clock, in my opinion, for Los Lunas to come back real quickly, just have a big run and make this a 1-2 point game once again. Eagles just need to continue to press on the accelerator.
Gutsy decision for Braylon Vega to shoot that tray just seconds ago. Of course, Eagles had about a 6-point lead and nailed the tray, but his third tray of the ball game, so definitely helped out the scoring numbers there. 8-point lead for the Eagles. Of course, tomorrow against Cleveland High School. Cleveland is currently second in the state at this point, and Los Lunas lost to Cleveland back on December 5th by 67-61. Of course, Eagles have had a chance to see Cleveland here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Didn't get a chance to play them, but again, it seems like every year we either play them or get to see them somewhere.
Exactly, whether it be in just the regular season or in the playoffs. Either way, we almost always get a ticket to see Cleveland. Not always the greatest thing because, sometimes we don't weather the storm as well as we should.
Of course, we play them in football too, but the Storm coming tomorrow. That is a 3:30 tip-off, 3 o'clock for the pregame, or 3:15 for the pregame show here at Tasker Arena. Holland on the baseline in the backcourt, gets it on the near side to Juarez. Throws it up to the time stripe to Kinsey. He'll slow it down to bring it across with 1:50 left, guarded by Pena. Dribbles through his legs, does Kinsey. Gives it off to the left wing to Rico. Kick it up top to Holland. Spots up an NBA three. A high arching one off the back of the rim. Rebound Pena on the left block. That's his 6th rebound. Dribbles in the front court, sliding through traffic to the left wing. Jump stop. Kicks it down to the corner to Caceres right side for 3. Open, but off the front of the rim. Rebound at the free throw line. In transition is Kinsey, his 9th rebound. Does it to Holland on the left side of the paint. Lays it in for 2 on the left glass. Holland continues to put down some points here in the fourth quarter. He's got 10 in the fourth, 24 overall to lead both teams. Eagles by 6, 39-33. Payne with the basketball on the near sideline with 1:10 remaining. Taking on his defender, Kinsey. Finds Vega in the front court right wing. Cross court left to Turbiatis. Posting up David. Fadeaway jumper in the lane right underneath the basket. Tried to back up a little bit. Throws it up and a foul. He'll get a chance for a 2-point play here. They call it as it comes off the rim.
Yeah, it got close, but not quite in.
That's Holland's 5th personal, I believe. He is leaving the ball game. Hobbs fans getting real loud after that foul call. That's his 5th. 24 points for Holland, the top scorer in this game for either team. And now it's time to try to put some icing on the cake here for Malachi David. He is 1 for 1 from the charity stripe and has 3 points and 5 rebounds.
That's kind of the icing on the cake for the, especially for the student section. They love to see when Holland gets out of here.
Ball bounces the back of the rim, front of the rim, and spins off left for David, unfortunately, but he'll get one more. Eagles up by 6, 39-33. Their biggest lead was 9 earlier in the game. 1:04 left in this one. Second shot for David right through the net, counting on the swish. He's got 4. 40-33, your Eagles by 7 with 1 minute left. In the front court, driving the right side of the lane is Rico. He throws up a ball kind of leaning towards the rim. They call the foul. They're going to count it and give a chance for a 3-point play for Los Lunas, as that will be good for Rico's 4th personal, and they'll charge that one to Jordan Caceres, his first 15th foul. That means Los Lunas in the double bonus the rest of the game, and we'll put Rico on the line for the first time tonight. But still, the Eagles with a 5-point lead. They ain't over yet, though.
Nope.
Definitely have to break the pressure of Los Lunas, and not a turnover coming up here. It's kind of a hard shot over the back of the rim. No good for Rico. Pulled down by Turbiatis on the left block. He's fouled quickly to stop the clock. Now that gives him his 10th rebound of the ball game. Only has 5 points right now, so not really going to get double in this ball game unless he get 5 somehow. And that's not yet going to be the 5th foul. That's the 4th against the Tigers, 1 away from the double bonus. Inbound to Turbiatis, far right sideline of the backcourt. Gets double teamed. Dribbles through 2 defenders toward the top of the arc of the backcourt, but stripped away as it's taken away by Kinsey. The Eagles 17 turnover. Kick out to the right corner to Juarez. To the right wing, same side. Garcia on the right. Hands it back to Juarez in the right corner. Fadeaway 3, but coach on the sideline calls a timeout. Ball did clink off the rim. That saved a rebound to the Eagles that time, so I guess Coach Julian got a little lucky on that one.
Yep.
He is on the sideline still, has been coaching from that sideline for most of the game, although, again, Los Lunas' bench is on the baseline. Again, tomorrow we will be on the air about 3:15 after the JV game for the pregame show, the Hobbs Eagle varsity on the court against Cleveland. And big week of basketball for the Eagles, Ron. With a win hopefully tonight, that could be 3 in a row if they pick off the Storm, who's ranked 2nd in the state.
That would be a big feather in their cap. Also, speaking of the JV you just mentioned a moment ago, Hobbs was victorious. They had a halftime lead of 28-19 over Los Lunas. Finished off 20 strong, 55-35 over Los Lunas. So they are winning for some really good games. They lost one the other day just because of free throws, basically, and a couple of turnovers with the last minute to go. But still, Hobbs JV playing well. Hobbs also playing pretty well. Not the greatest. Once again, we're going to have to say this is one of those ugly wins. But as a couple of players had said, look, we'll take an ugly win over a clean loss any time at all. And I agree with that. You know, even if it, although I will say this, Cleveland tomorrow, they will not have this kind of luxury to have a 40-point win.
If you're just joining us, too, unfortunately, the Hobbs Eagles lose a one-point battle on the road tonight in Moriarty. They played Farmington, kind of a neutral site there, but Farmington gets the better of the Lady Eagles, who have their third loss of the season. Going to be Los Lunas basketball underneath their hoop on the right baseline, trailing by 5. The ball gets into the right corner to Juarez, keeps it right side with a pass to Kinsey. Back again to Juarez in the right corner for 3 off the back of the rim. Vega gets a rebound on the baseline, gets thrown to the floor. His second board, no call. Inbound to, or pass to the near left sideline to Caceres. And Coach Reeves jumps out of the court at the other baseline and says, timeout, trying to get the ref's attention. He wasn't liking what he was seeing on team help on the pressure that they saw against Los Lunas and did not want the ball to be turned over with just a 5-point lead. 29.9 seconds left here in the fourth as your Hobbs Eagles holding on to a 40-35 lead. This would be the Eagles' 7th win of the season. We could make it 8 tomorrow against Cleveland. And again, kind of an afternoon game. Not a lot of turnaround time for the Eagles. Maybe have a little shoot-around practice in the morning, but they're right back on the court. 3 games this week.
Yeah, and, you know, again, Cleveland, not an easy one. But Pena doing really his best. 17 points so far in this game, and he has helped maintain this lead, 40-35, you know, and it's going to be one of those nice ones. I thought that because of the fact of the last couple of years and this history with Los Lunas, it might be a tight game. It might even be a low-scoring affair. Last time it was 50-46. Hobbs lost by 4. Before that, it was a 3-point game, 46-43. So Hobbs has righted their ship, and if they continue to do this, it's still a possibility that Los Lunas could come back. It's only about a 2-3 possession game, but Hobbs needs to just hold on. They can get this victory and move on to the next one.
Of course, the big story in the fourth quarter, Jalen Holland, their top scorer, fouled out with 24 points and 5 rebounds. Had most of the free throws attempts for the Tigers as well, and he was 5 of 6 from the line. Eagle basketball in the backcourt. Turbiantes with the ball after the timeout. Throws it across the timeline. It's loose, picked up by Vega. He goes to the rack with a finger roll over the front of the rim and scores. Luckily, ricocheted his hands that time. He's got 11. 42-35, Eagles by 7. Driving the left baseline, Juarez at the other end. Shot on the run, no good. Underneath the hoop is Turbiantes for his 11th rebound. And finds Vega, or Pena on the near sideline left. Gets bodied into to stop the clock with 7.8. That should be the 15th foul on Los Lunas to send Pena to the line as they get the foul call against Isaiah Aragon. That's his 4th, again the 15th foul. And Pena will step up for 2 free throws. He is 2 for 4 at the line for 50%. And has 17 points to lead the Eagles. His first one comes off the back of the rim, no good. In this fourth quarter, he is 2 for 4 from the line. Looks like they get a sub in for Los Lunas. On the court now for the Tigers is Jacob Garcia. Second shot for Pena, a swish as he puts it through. 18 now for Pena. Hobbs by 8 with 5 seconds remaining. A 3-shot on the way on the right side off the side of the rim, no good for Aragon. Goes out on the baseline, out of bounds. Hobbs Eagle basketball. They'll have to hold on to it in the backcourt with 1.1 second remaining. And should put a W in the book, and it is going to be for the Eagles. The W converted. Hobbs winning 43-35 over Los Lunas, dropping them to 9-7 on the season. An upset for the Eagles. They were the 10th ranked team here in the 5A in New Mexico. We'll be back in 3 minutes for your Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7 on the radio, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious in this one over Los Lunas, 43-35, as Hobbs picks up their 7th win of the season, 7-11, as Los Lunas drops to 9-7. Of course, the Eagles at the 18th ranked spot in the state, upsetting number 10, Los Lunas. So a big win for Hobbs. 2 in a row here at Tasker Arena. One more coming up tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 tip-off time. Eagles will take on Cleveland to wrap up the 3-game homestand. Let's look at the numbers first for the Los Lunas Tigers. Only one in double figures and far way ahead of the rest of his teammates in scoring. He fouled out late in the 4th. Jalen Holland, 24 points, 5 of 6 from the line, and 5 rebounds. Hit the only three-pointer in the game, but he took a lot of shots from the outside. Again, most people would say, boy, 24 points, dominating player, but he missed a lot of those outside shots and got a little bit the Hobbs student section kind of got under his skin just a bit with their chance of overrated, and he came down the lane and put a little finger roll in a three-point play to try to get back at him, but a few minutes after that in the 4th, he's out of the ball game with fouls.
Yeah, and he got lucky on that one too, because sometimes if you get that strong or that headstrong and you try to drive the lane like he did, sometimes you get a charge call instead of the bucket, so he got lucky with that, plus the 1-and-1. Yeah, he was just horrible. For whatever reason, he just could not find the cylinder when he was shooting those threes, and that would have made a big difference. However, again, since he couldn't find his target, he just wasn't making the difference that he wanted to.
Of course, he's already got a lot of Division I offers regardless prior to this game. Arizona State, Southern Utah, Oklahoma, UNM, New Mexico State, Cincinnati, Missouri. The list goes on and on. San Diego State, Washington State. He's just a junior, too. One more season for Los Lunas, but he gets it L tonight. Eagles take care of business. Nobody even close to him in scoring. Isaiah Juarez finished with 4 points and a rebound. Fernando Rico, 4 points and 2 rebounds. A bucket for Isaiah Aragon with 1 board. Rex Kinsey went 1 of 3 from the line for 1. So they only had 5 scores in the game, and once again was Holland with 24. Nobody else higher than 4 in this ball game. They were 6 of 10. The Tigers were from the free throw line at 60%. 1 3-pointer in the game. Eagles out-rebounded them by 10, 33-23, and the top rebounder was Kinsey with 9 and Holland with 5. They had 12 turnovers. That was one stat they were better than the Eagles. Hobbs had 17. Looking at the Eagles' numbers, they finish up 2 in double figures. Abraham Pena with 18 points. He went 3 of 6 from the charity stripe and also had 6 rebounds. I should also mention, too, 7 of his 18 coming in the 4th quarter. It was Braylon Vega, the sophomore, with 11 points. He had 3 trays and another bucket as well and had 2 rebounds in the contest. So Pena and Vega combined for 29 of the Hobbs Eagles' 43 points in this game. Jairus Turbiatis, 5 points, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe, and had 11 rebounds in the game. So he was trying to look towards a double-double in this game. Unfortunately, the points didn't help him out with that, but still really doing a good job of crashing the glass. Other point production for the Eagles, Malachi David, 4 points, 2 for 3 on the free throw line, and 5 rebounds. Steady performance for him. Parker Henderson, a starter tonight with 4 points and 8 rebounds. Also with Josiah Clay coming off the bench. He was 1 for 3 on the charity stripe, finished with 1 point. And that is for the scoring for the Eagles. They finished up with 6 in the books in terms of point producers. Hobbs went on the free throw line in this ball game. 3 of 6 for Abraham Pena, so he definitely was stroking it for Hobbs, getting half of his free throws. 1 of 3 for Clay, 1 of 2 for Turbiatis, and 2 of 3 for David in this game. Eagles out rebounding again, 33-23 over Los Lunas, and that was 11 for Turbiatis, 8 for Henderson, and 6 for Pena, 5 for Malachi David. So lots of guys cleaning glass for the Eagles in this one. Again, they did have 5 more turnovers, 17-12. Eagles out shooting from the outside. Los Lunas 4 trays compared to 1 for the Tigers. And Hobbs in that 4th quarter had 15 points and 14 for Los Lunas.
Yeah, well, it wasn't lack of trying for the Tigers. They were definitely trying to launch up those threes. Just like you said, they just could not sink them and could not make them. And part of that was just simply because Hobbs was protecting the paint. They weren't really protecting the perimeter as much, especially with those big NBA threes that they were trying to launch. And it just weren't – they were hitting that iron most of the times, but they just weren't clinking in. So that was good for Hobbs. But, on the other hand, Hobbs still has a little work to do. They need to get their offense a little more rhythm in. And as far as that goes, they also need to get the defense to be able to get some more chances for them to get those second chance points, whether it be through rebounds or stealing the ball, however you want to say it. And through the fourth quarter, once again, we were looking to see if Hobbs could find its footing, be able to maintain. They had a great couple of minutes in there, and that caused them to win the game. But there was a couple of times when they were just passing the ball back and forth, and Tigers took advantage of that. Got some really quick steals and tried to make some baskets. Some of them made, some of them didn't. So overall, Hobbs has hopefully learned that they need to tighten up those passes, be able to get them across as fast as they can without anybody getting in front of them, interfering, and be able to intercept and make quick baskets on their own.
Failed to mention the Eagles' free throw shooting as a team, 7 of 14 for 50%. Tomorrow, of course, the Eagles have Cleveland, ranked second in the state. They beat Los Lunas back on December 5th, 67-61, so they had a taste of the Tigers. Knocked off Santa Fe, who's been ranked most of the season, by 6, 80-74. Picked off Roswell back on December 15th, 90-52, so that was a 38-point victory against one of the Eagles' district foes. They did lose pretty bad at number 1 Volcano Vista, 81-62. That was a 19-point loss in that game. Big win over Mayfield by 15. Of course, the Eagles lost to Mayfield in Las Cruces. They picked off Centennial by 16, beat Artesia by 27, so big win there. Played Volcano Vista a second time and actually picked off the number 1 team in the state by 4, 64-60, so they're 1-1 against the Volcano Vista Hawks. Lost to Farmington, a ranked squad, by 3. Beat Santa Fe a second time, 79-46. That was a 33-point victory. Have a 16-point win over La Cueva. Atrisco Heritage they picked off. They're a ranked team as well by 16. Played Volcano Vista a third time, losing by 7. Came back and beat La Cueva a second time, 69-62. And then just a few days ago against Sandia, 82-64. So quite a few games that they played against top-ranked teams in the state. And reason why right now they are 14-3 on the season, only 3 losses for the Storm.
And most of them are coming from Volcano Vista. Of course, the game after Hobbs will be once again Volcano Vista. This time, of course, it'll be the second of their, I guess you can say, doubleheader in the district. But Cleveland is very strong. They're definitely willing to win. In fact, they got close to winning the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. They just lost to Farmington just by a couple. It was just 3 points. So, they got really close to doing that, as well as, of course, having bragging rights when they came down here to face Hobbs. Hobbs was not in the championship, as you well know. But, they are still, what happens is they need to play now, play strong. Whether it happened then, it needs to happen now. So that way they can continue to be strong. They got 8 games to go. They need to win a vast majority of those if they want to get the 500 plus on their standings, as well as get that chance to get into the playoffs and be able to make some noise in the state championship.
So the Hobbs Eagles on a 2-game win streak, wins against Las Cruces and Los Lunas, the 2L schools on their schedule. Again, tomorrow they will play Cleveland. The Storm coming in 3:30 tip-off on that one here at Tasker, an afternoon affair. Pre-game show at 3:15, and again the tip at 3:30. That'll be right here on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Again, if you didn't hear us earlier, Farmington got a 1-point win over the Hobbs Lady Eagles earlier tonight in Moriarty. So Hobbs with their 3rd loss of the season, a tough road trip there. At least they didn't have to go all the way up to Farmington. They played that at a neutral site there, again, in Moriarty. So, Ron, let's get us our final sponsors here for the Hobbs Eagle game tonight and for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Once again, we'd like to thank the following: Lasco Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Without you guys, we would not be able to be on the air or on the internet.
Again, final score tonight, 43-35. The Hobbs Eagles now 7-11 on the season. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 3:15. Thanks to Evie Stuber back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, have a great rest of a Friday night out there.